Okay, so what we have here is the Viltrox EF-FX2 converter, and what it does, it converts Canon's EF lenses to fit on the Fuji X system, so in my case for the Fuji XT-4. Now as you can see what it is, it's not a manual one. This one will actually transfer, or at least it claims to transfer, the meta information to and from the lens. So things like autofocusing should work, aperture should work, and the focal distance should also be recorded. So let's go ahead and open it up here and take a look. Alright, let's see what we got here. So we've got the documentation and a warranty card. Let's just reposition this here so you can see it. So we've got the documentation, the warranty card. In here is the lens itself. At the bottom, of course, we just have some little packing material. Nothing to rave about there. It's got a little pull tab here for a little Allen key. We'll see what that's going to be used for. So let's go ahead and move the documentation and the box out the way. And let's take a look at the lens. And this is a lens, by the way. It does have elements in there. So as you can see on here, we have at the bottom we have a mount so that you can alleviate some of the pressure from the tripod, right, from the tripod screw on the body. Of course, on one side we have the connectors plus the, the elements there for the Fuji side to connect to the body. On the other side, we have, again, the connectors here plus the elements. And you may be able to see in there, if I get closer to the camera, you may just be able to see here, there's a little micro or mini USB port that allows for updating on firmware as well, which is nice. So as you can see, nice clean contacts, everything's metal. The construction itself, everything here is metal. I'll see if I can get that on camera. It is metal, okay. I think the Allen key, yeah, the Allen key is for removing the mount, the tripod mount here, if you don't want to have that on there. We'll see how that goes. I may end up using that. A lot of the heavy lenses that I have, of course, have ones with it as well. But at the end of the day, let's close this up here. And that is how it looks out of the box, right? Like I said, the EF-FX2. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to grab my camera here and a Canon lens, and we'll try this out quickly to see how well this works. So I've got the camera here. What we're going to do is I'm just going to pop off the lens that's on there right now. So we'll just take that off of there. Hopefully you can see that there. Just going to change out the hoods. Alright, so I'm going to connect. It looks nice and clean. Everything looks good inside there. So I'm going to go ahead and match up and put it on the body. Of course, it's going to add a little bit of a size and a weight there, as you can see. I'll see if I can get that in shot there. So it does stick it out a little bit, but it's really not too bad compared to other mounts. Now here's going to be the first problem, is this mount here for the tripod actually, gets the battery pack that I've got on here, the battery extender gets in the way. Right, let's grab an EF lens and see how well this works. I'm just going to use my old trusty 50mm here. Alright, so I got my Canon 50mm lens, just standard EF mount, right, nothing special. Again, you're just going to line it up with the dots. Giving it a bit of a test here. Everything feels good. Everything feels solid, right? The adapter feels solid against the body, and the lens feels solid. I'm not feeling any movement here. A little bit, a small amount of movement on the lens there, but nothing that you wouldn't normally expect. So let's see if I can do this without looking through the camera here. Got the 50mm lens on there now, so as you can see, it doesn't stick it out greatly from the body, right? Let's turn this on. Let's give this a go. I'm just going to point it at something here, see if I can get this in camera for you. Focusing was a little jittery, but it's working. It's looking good, right? We'll put it on the old Nintendo Switch there. See if I can get this in frame for you. But yep, everything's working there. I got a 6.5 shutter and an f1.3. Alright, so I'm gonna change it here. I'm gonna change it's a 2.8 lens, so I'm gonna change it to f4. You may be able to see it on there or not on the screen. Now, you know, again, focusing works good. I'm gonna try a test shot here of this horribly dirty, dusty stand. Try another one. So there are some focusing issues that I may have to set up and resolve here. Okay, so what I've done is, let me see if I can get this to work here for us. I'm going to change the manual focus in here for a second. In the menu, if I go into the menu here, in the menu, you're going to see this mount adapter setting. So what I've done is I've changed it to 50mm. May not be coming out too good on the video here, but I've changed it to 50mm to indicate that it's a 50mm lens. So let's now go ahead and try a photograph again. Still not looking great. Gonna have to play with this a little bit here, I think. Okay, so I fixed it now. What it is, I think that actually the shutter speed was so low I was getting a slight camera shake. So let's try this again. So it's going to take a second here to get the focus. There we go. Alright, and now let's go ahead and zoom in. See if I can get this on camera for you. Let's find it here. Alright, if I zoom in, you can see that actually is beautifully focused, I gotta admit. So just gotta make sure that you got the camera settings right for the adapter. But other than that, this Viltrox EF-FX2 out of the box here very quickly with a couple of shots. Looks to be working just fantastic. It does struggle sometimes a little bit with the focus. That may be an issue, we'll have to see. But I think it's also the focusing distance, right? If I point at something, say something slightly further away, like let's try there, it gets it in just fine. So that's it. I think this is going to be very interesting to use with my EF lenses. I'm going to try it out with a couple more and we'll see how it goes.